Well, hello again, everyone. Another look at the races this week. Got to say that last week was another one of those frustrating sort of days. Things just didn't quite go according to plan, and so we just spun our wheels pretty much across the weekend. We actually only had two races on Saturday, with Yonkers going down, easily beaten. Crystal Pegasus, who I thought was probably the best bet of the weekend, did get up and win quite nicely. And so at that stage, things were looking quite good. Then the meeting, of course, got abandoned in Sydney and got basically rerun on Monday over at Newcastle. And things just didn't go according to plan. Expat sort of sat outside the leader. They went too hard in front, I think, and it compounded pretty much about halfway down the straight, ran out of puff. Brutality didn't run very well at all. And Gypsy Goddess, I don't know what Pike was doing on it, but it ended up way at the back of the field, literally 15 lengths away from the leading bunch, and did run home nicely, but never ever looked like winning. And so I think across the entire weekend we won about $3. So just spinning the wheels there. So return on investment now negative 7.4%. We've just about cycled the bank through for the second time. When we get to 2200, it'll be time to reassess. I did get a nice email from Peter, who was talking about his attempts to use the Wagon, and he's doing quite nicely. Not necessarily doing exactly the same races as me. He's picking his own races, but he's finding that the top selection is running a place about 3/4 of the time, 75% strike rate on the place, which means that you should be making a profit. And he's just doing it on paper at the moment, but it might be something worth looking at. And I've got a suspicion that, perhaps the races that I'm choosing aren't the ideal ones, possibly. I don't know. But anyway, going to have a look at 3 races this week. So let's have a look at the spreadsheet. And there's some awesomely good races, some quality horses going around, and great racing for the weekend. So I've only got 3 races to look at. And the first one, Randwick Race 4, comes up with Zayrek. And I'm not really all that enthused about this. The horse is up in class. The horse I really wanted to back was Stockman, and I thought it would have been the top pick, but it's not. It's come out as the second pick behind Zayrek, and so I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing here. Probably going to be backing Zayrek and also backing Stockman as well, but the system says back the top one, and so Zayrek is the top selection there, and it certainly overs at the moment. The other race at Randwick is the Doncaster. I think it's a Doncaster, is it? Anyway, 1,600 metre race, and there's probably like 10 or 12 horses could win this. Wide barriers are going to be a problem. So, for example, the top selection here, Forbidden Love, I'm not going to be backing it because the price is too low. I think it's drawn barrier 14. Yeah, it's got Jamie Carr riding it, which is an advantage, but gee whiz, there are a lot of good horses drawn on the inside of it. And it's going to be a lot of luck, I think, determining who's going to win this race. So interesting to see how this goes, but not having a bet in this particular race. But the one that I am happy to have a bet on, and it's race 8 at Bendigo, a $200,000 race over a mile. And it's come up with Zaydani as the top selection. And I do like this horse. It's coming back from a spell, hasn't been out for too long, but it's a nice horse, Zaydani, and at a good price here at $11. If you can get these to sort of come up one time in 5, then you're going to make 100% profit. So that's where we're going. In the race, though, there's this horse, Cherry Tortoni, was a top pick a couple of starts ago, and it should have won last start. I think the ride was just a shocker. Whatever the case, it's now $3.60, and it doesn't come up as being a chance as far as the Wagon's concerned. But based on its last start, you'd have to think it's a good chance of winning this race. But barrier 16, that's going to be a challenge for the jockey to get it well placed. And so if you're having a punt, I do hope you have some success. As I said, great racing this weekend, but I'm just going to be sort of paring back and having maybe a couple of bets for the weekend and just watching the rest of the races and enjoying the afternoon. Catch up with you again next week.